Hey YouTube, what's going on? This is iTalk. Here, and in today's video, we have a brand new video. You guys have asked for it, so here we go. Unpopular Opinions is back. I went on Twitter on my second Twitter account, and I asked you guys, what are some of your most unpopular Fortnite opinions you got? And I want to go over them with you guys. And the next episode we do of this, I will be taking comments from this comment section of this video. I will be going over some of them, and I will do another episode of Unpopular Opinions with the YouTube comments. Now, please be nice to one another because that's what this series is. It's about unpopular opinions. So people are already pretty nervous to actually share their opinions out there, especially when they're very unpopular. So let's just get right into it. He says, the storyline is very easy to follow, and I don't know why so many people are confused or think there isn't even one. So my line of thinking with this is that it is a little bit complicated because the storyline can kind of be interpreted to what you personally think. I don't think the storyline has one straight answer to it, right? Like we see theory videos all the time on YouTube and stuff like that. For this season especially, I think that the top 5 gaming video about the storyline was probably the most accurate I could probably guess. I think it's just due to the fact that people are confused as to what everything means. I mean, Fortnite's been around for over 3 years now, like the Battle Royale portion, and there's just so many mysteries that we don't know about. Like we still don't know what that bunker was in Weeping Woods back in chapter 1. We still don't know what that's used for. We don't know about certain things with like the rifts, and we don't understand different things. Like you could say it's one answer, but in reality it could be a whole bunch of different things that we just don't know, because Fortnite likes to keep things very on the down low, and they don't just like outright tell you what these things mean. So I do think that the storyline is rather confusing because, again, there is no straight answer to it. There is absolutely a storyline, though. When you say here that people don't think there isn't one, there absolutely is one, but it goes to show you that people sometimes choose to just not acknowledge the storyline to the game because the storyline isn't speaking to you directly. You have to discover things. You have to kind of look into the lore and look into the theories into what the story actually means for Fortnite. There's multiple stories with the game, and I don't know if we'll ever have a full concrete conclusion to the entire thing. I still think it's really complicated, but do I think that there is a story? Yeah, absolutely. There has to be a story with this game. Fortnite hasn't really had a soul since season 8. That's not to say it hasn't had good content along the way. It most definitely has, but it just doesn't really feel like it has the soul it used to have. I think the more appropriate response to this is that Fortnite has kind of gone more corporate and more commercial. I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing for Fortnite, but we have to really take this into account. Around Season X is when Fortnite was really trying to figure out how to have everyone have fun with the game before moving through with skill-based matchmaking. They tried to have mechs in the game. That didn't work out. They tried to have the sword in the game. That didn't work out. And then they introduced skill-based matchmaking, which for the most part has pretty much worked for Fortnite. And I think the way they have skill-based matchmaking now is actually really good. Solos is the most difficult to play, but when you go up to like squads, it almost feels like there is no skill-based matchmaking, and you can actually have fun with your friends, and you actually can play with your friends and not feel like you have to sweat a whole ton. So I think that they're kind of handling it well with the skill-based matchmaking, but the reason why skill-based matchmaking is even a thing in video games is to have it so everyone of every skill level can enjoy the game. Fortnite didn't even have skill-based matchmaking back in the day, and that's kind of what made the game so fun, is that wins were actually tough to get. Now they're very, very easy to get. Like you can get a win in squad solo if you want, and it's very easy. Compared to what it was like back then, it was really difficult. People would hide in bushes. People didn't know how to build back then. It was a very different time. I feel like Fortnite is just adapting to things, right? Like we're getting new dances, but what are most of them? They're TikTok dances. Why? Because TikTok is popular. It makes total sense. Fortnite had an entire season dedicated to Marvel. Why? Because Marvel is popular. It does kind of feel like that Fortnite is trying to appease as many people as they possibly can. And yeah, I do think that it sometimes could look a little shallow on their part when all they're trying to do is just make a fun experience for everyone. But in doing that, Fortnite does kind of look like they're not their own game anymore. I don't want to say that 100% for sure, but the way I see it is that anytime there's anything popular going on in the real world, Fortnite will try to mold themselves with it, right? Like I said, TikTok is extremely popular. I don't understand the fad myself, maybe because I'm just a 26-year-old boomer, but my point is that Fortnite has like some sort of contract with TikTok, it seems like, and they'll drop a TikTok emote every so often. And I guess Fortnite thinks it's so special to have TikTok emotes in the game that they encrypt them, so we don't even know what they are until we see them in the item shop. Fortnite can't encrypt everything because then the game files would be way too big. So they encrypt the stuff that they want to keep as secret as they possibly can. And the ones that they want to keep secret is TikTok emotes. I guess that makes sense. They're very proud of the emotes. I mean, I don't blame them. I mean, I think some of them are pretty cool, but as for others, it's just kind of like, well, this isn't really for me. Do I think that Fortnite is a little bit shallow? Not 100%, but it doesn't feel as authentic as it was back in Chapter 1 when every idea they threw at us was new. It's obvious that Fortnite hasn't been pushing out as many updates as they used to, and honestly, I kind of wish they didn't do that to themselves in the very beginning, because then people sort of expect Fortnite to be like, okay, new updates every week or every 2 weeks, and with every update we'll get a new weapon and all that good stuff, and that's just not the way Fortnite can run. They can't run themselves to the bone like that, so they have to kind of pace themselves a little bit. So because Fortnite doesn't push out as much content as they used to, does that make them somehow soulless? I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't agree with every decision that Fortnite makes, but at the same time, Fortnite hasn't really been doing bad. I mean, I'm in love with this season right now. It's a really good one, and I really have no issues with the game. Like, regardless if people might think that there is just no soul behind anything with the game now, I think there's a lot of care and attention put into the game. I'm not going to say that they don't have a soul, because that just seems really weird to say, but I will say that it does seem like that they do like to jump on trends when they do. I mean, let's be honest here, they do have some creative modes like the Among Us maps that are really high traction right now, and even like the Tumble Lads Fall Guys map that was made. Like, it does seem like that Fortnite really likes to push out modes like that aren't necessarily super creative, but with it being in Fortnite, it is somewhat creative in the sense that you can actually just make those game modes into Fortnite, which in of itself is creative, but maybe the idea isn't. They've been doing this for a while with like the reboot vans from Apex Legends, and even like the pinging system from Apex Legends. Like, Fortnite has a lot of different ideas that they like to incorporate with their game, and a lot of them are rather shared from other games. That's just how Fortnite actually has been for a while. That's just kind of Fortnite. It's a metaverse. It is a game that is a lot like every other game out there. So again, I don't think Fortnite has no soul, but things have definitely slowed down for them at this point, and I don't think it's really a bad thing. I think it's better for them to not crunch their employees over and over again. I think Fortnite's in a really good state right now. That's just my opinion on it. I loved the Season X map. There was so much variety and so much to do. I truly miss it. So the Season X map did have a lot of stuff on the map. It had a lot of gimmicks, and my issue with the map is just that it had too many gimmicks. I did not like how there were so many different areas that did so many different things, and it was just not my favorite. It was actually probably my least favorite map of all time. I don't mind a little bit of chaos in my video games, right? I don't mind a little bit of craziness. Like right now, the map that we have right now and the loadouts that we have right now in the game almost feel flawless. I wish we had the pump back. I don't know why they keep vaulting the pump. Maybe it's due to the fact that they're mostly a one-hit kill and people really don't like it when they die in one shot. That makes sense, honestly. But besides that, they're handling the mythic weapons perfectly. None of them are overly broken. You have to spend your own gold to actually obtain the weapon for the match. It does not feel like there is too much chaos. Season X, I feel like, had way too much chaos with it. This one feels like it's controlled chaos, and that's honestly the way I like it. I like when things are more balanced out, and I like it when things are just a little bit more fair in that regard. And I think Season X was just so much stuff was thrown at the wall to see what stuck, and everything just stuck, and it wasn't for the best reasons. In my personal opinion, the map was just kind of an eyesore to look at, and I have a feeling that if we ever get like a Chapter 3 map, it'll probably have the map kind of look like the Season X map. So if you did like the Season X map, I can assure you we might be getting a map like that again if we ever get a Chapter 3. Planes weren't OP and should be a permanent addition. So planes in the first iteration of them, I thought were busted. They didn't have fuel. You could just crash into people's builds. I did not like how planes were back in Chapter 1 whatsoever. The way they have it in Chapter 2, they are somewhat balanced. I think what they need to do is make it so there's more fuel on the plane, like, and the bursts just take less fuel, because they almost do feel kind of underpowered. But you have to remember what planes are used for. They're not made for you to 1v1 someone on the ground. they're made for traveling, and they're made for actually shooting out builds and stuff like that. With the current iteration of the planes, I think they're actually in a really good spot. It's just my only complaint with them is that the fuel is a little bit too much, just in the sense that the fuel kind of gets depleted a little bit too quickly, and I think they should kind of buff that up a bit. But do I think they should be a permanent addition? I don't really see why not, because I thought the choppas were fine. From Chapter 2 Season 2, I thought those things were totally fine. I had zero issues with those whatsoever. With planes, they're a little bit better in the sense because you can get a free glider redeploy from them, so I really don't have an issue with the planes in their current form. Like I said, they might be a little bit underpowered, but so long as they can't crash into builds and stuff like that, I don't mind them being in the game. Permanent might be a strong word though, because Fortnite never keeps anything in the game permanently, except maybe some of the ARs that we've had. I think they've kept them in since the beginning, but I mean, even the pump isn't safe, right? Like, it's just how it is sometimes. So I wouldn't say that they should be permanent. I don't mind seeing them every so often though. This is the best Chapter 2 season. I kind of want to agree with that. I hate saying that because I watch my older content, and I've said before that Season 6 was going to be the best season, and Season 7 was going to be the best season. It always seems like every time the beginning of the season happens, I always love it, and then they update it to the point where I'm just not feeling it, or I get bored of the season. But so far, I am thoroughly enjoying this season. I'm trying to think of all the other seasons that we've had with this chapter. Chapter 2 Season 1 went on for way too long and we barely got any content. Again, the reason why we barely got any content was because the content was the brand new map, and that map was huge, it was massive. It's a map, it's a brand new map. Of course, it's going to take a lot of time to make that map, so that was supposed to be our content, but people grew bored of it, and even fashion shows were started because of how boring that season was. Chapter 2 Season 2 had that spy theme, and I thought it was done extremely well. I loved that season. I thought it was fairly good. I feel like Chapter 2 Season 3 was one of the most forgettable seasons, and then Chapter 2 Season 4, I really wish we didn't have that kind of season. I was not a fan of Marvel that much. I wasn't a fan of the superpowers, and it was just not for me. So yeah, I'm gonna safely say that I think that this season is the best one so far. The cosmetics are great, the theme is nice, and I really have no issue with this season. I'm glad that all of the crossover stuff is staying in the item shop, minus the Mandalorian on the map, but guess what? The sniper is somewhat balanced. There's no crazy abilities going around everywhere. This feels like the season's a lot more in line with how seasons should be, because like my personal favorite season, if I had to take a guess, would be 3 or 4 from Chapter 1, because they was the most grounded, I had the most fun with my friends personally, and even Season 5 wasn't bad, besides the SMG meta was really annoying. Besides that, I felt like those seasons were really controlled and they were really chill, and that's just how I like my Fortnite seasons, honestly. And I will have to agree, I think that this is so far the best Chapter 2 season. Bulky skins aren't that bad. Okay, so bulky skins in Fortnite like Beast Mode, Mecha Team Leader, I don't think these skins are bad. I'm saying I don't like how they block your vision. And no one that I personally know likes bulky skins at all. No one likes to feel like when you're aiming down your gun, you have to worry that something might be in the way, like your head or the nose might be too big. Like, people don't want to worry about that. So when I say I don't like bulky skins, it usually just means like I don't like playing as them. And some of them are kind of eyesores. I still will say that Beast Mode, I think, isn't very appealing to me. And Mecha Team Leader, again, I'm just not a fan of that either. And also, I mean, I don't like the Mecha Team Shadow. I don't. There's no way Fortnite makes these skins in hopes that everyone likes every single thing they put out. That's impossible. There's no way Fortnite's gonna make over 1,000 skins in the game and be like, okay, everyone will love every single one of them. That is impossible. That is just not the way it works. So in my personal opinion, I think bulky skins are rather bad. Again, you can think differently. You can think they're some of the best skins. I know people that genuinely love Mecha Team Leader, and I have no ill will towards you. My opinion is that I just do not like bulky skins. When I play Fortnite, I want to have a clear view of my ADS. I want to be able to see what I'm looking at, and I don't want to have the issue of sticking out too much, because bulky skins not only could mess up your ADS, but they could also make you stand out a lot more because you have more body there. So I just don't like running them. I always feel so claustrophobic for some whatever reason when I run them. It's just not fun for me. I only really run them when I want to troll around a little bit. But guys, that is it for this episode of Unpopular Opinions. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know with a like, but only if you enjoy the content. content, and subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and turn on the bell just so you get all my latest uploads. And if you'd like to use me for support a creator, my code is ITF. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you all later. See ya.